Today, I want to continue with our discussion, our conversation about trust, courage, willingness, and now I'm adding today beliefs. And beliefs are really the kingpin. And I don't think I've ever used that word. I've heard it many times over my lifetime. So I just looked it up, and it's kind of the master, even in a gang. It's the leader of the gang. Everything goes the way the kingpin does. I kind of think of it like in bowling, that the center is the kingpin for the whole arrangement. And I'm not sure if that's actually correct, but I think it is. And that is the way beliefs go. Beliefs are what you think. Beliefs are what you feel. Do you know the difference between your beliefs and what you know? It seems kind of similar. We use them interchangeably, but they're different. Do you believe you're alive, or do you know you're alive? And you didn't have to check, you didn't have to go, I feels this way, I think this way, maybe what percent, you know it. And people try to use trust that way. I don't want to take on religion. I don't want to take on anybody's spiritual path. But if you feel you're not trusting when you are being told you should, trust in whatever your path says you should trust in. Trust in God is good. Trust in people. Trust in government. Trust in whatever your circumstances are. When people use the word trust, it tends to bring up distrust. So what are we to do? On an earlier musing, we talked about how you need fear to have courage. Now that we've said, and I think it was part 3, this is part 4. Part 3 is that trust is that experience of certainty, of reliability. And you can have that in the inner world, in the sense of every night before I actually fall asleep, there is a space that I go to that's not quite awake and not asleep yet. I can be certain that if I look for it, that space will be there. But certainty does not go with the outer world. The outer world is changeable. I want to read to you something that came to me, and it's by the poet and writer Jane Hirshfield. And she says, everything changes, everything is connected, and pay attention. Are your beliefs causing you stress because your beliefs are not matching your experience? Now, a lot of the reason that people distrust is because it matches their experience. And so it's better in their minds to distrust people, places, and things, because the world will match up and you can use that reticular activating system in the back of your brain to sort for all the unreliable people, places, and things. And then at least you feel right, even though you don't have the experience of trust. But no matter what your path is, as far as spiritual or religious beliefs, would you be willing to try on trusting that everything changes? Having a belief that everything changes, because you actually have a knowing that everything changes. I want to say, raise your hand if you know that everything changes. I want to raise 2 hands. We like to believe somehow that it's going to be static, that like, I will always love you exactly as I love you now. No, your experience of love is going to go up and down, and it's going to be different than when you were 25 and when you're 50. Even if you love the same person, you might love them more deeply, but you're not going to love them exactly the same, because feelings and thoughts are changeable. The outer world is changeable. Our bodies are changeable. Everything's changeable. And that is something that we're not trained to think about. But we're here at Musings to discover the things that bring us peace. So what would it be like if you expected life to be changeable and not to get what you wanted, or to have it be the way you think it should be? It's been a very interesting ride here in 2024, because people of a certain belief system were like this about the politics. And then it changed, and now they're all like this, and everything is all changeable. Let's not hook our peace, our okayness, our equanimity, our sense of the rightness of life in the sense of the isness. Rightness, not rightness and wrongness, but life just is. And part of the isness is being to ride the wave of change. And if we expected that, if we could trust in the unexpected, then we're going to be like a swimmer who's relaxed in the water, and they can swim longer and more efficiently and survive. Whereas someone who is rigid and expects a certain thing is going to have a harder time when the waves come and they crash and daylight becomes nightfall. Picture those swimmers who go day and night to make those long swims. All the circumstances change. So I leave you with that, and with that last part of what Jane Hirschfield said: pay attention. Let your muscles open. Open is willingness. And trust is expecting reliability unless you trust the unexpected, unless you trust that life is change. And could we add that everything is connected? Because if we knew that rather than trusted that, that experience of loneliness and profound depression and deeply unhappy suicidal ideation would diminish, because we would know our connection to the earth, to each other, for with connected to people who agree and people who disagree. It's all part of the isness and the whole.